This show is sponsored by Lila Arboretum Society.
Hi, I'm Vi Gogol, Master Gardener, and we're on the Battle Creek Garden Tour, and I'm here at the home of Marlene Dawes. Do I say that right, Dawes?
It's Dow. Yeah.
Okay, and we're at the entrance to this fabulous side yard and backyard garden, and I can hardly wait to get in there.
All right, well, let's go through this gate.
Okay.
They say from the 1920s. I'm not sure, but
It's an antique.
yeah, it's kind of my spin on the secret garden because nobody really knows this is back here when they pull in my house. I have
That's
no
right.
idea that this is back here.
Of course, we've been here before, so we know it's here.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Boy, your hostas have grown.
Hostas are going crazy. Yeah, they need to be divided again, no doubt. It's just a constant,
How many times have you divided them?
Oh, I've divided them probably 5 or 6 times and given a lot away.
Yeah,
And they're still, I divided all this last year out, and you can see now it's just choking it again. So I invite people to bring their bucket and shovels and just help themselves because they just go crazy. The soil must be just right for here, you know. Lucky we'll get roses blooming a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Is this one of the knockouts?
Yep, these are knockouts. They'll
And
just
that's
keep blooming. I just keep deadheading them and they'll just keep blooming.
And that one down there is the double one?
Yep, that's
I like
the double
that.
one. Yep.
I like that.
Yeah.
Did you see her alligator?
Yeah, my alligator. One of my finds. It's actually from when Lila Arboretum did the trees.
The wood carving?
The wood carving. One of the gentlemen that was doing the carving had some of these for sale. And he's getting a little weathered, but he told me I just spray it with polyurethane, that spray polyurethane a couple times a year, and it's still going. So I bought it specifically for out here. Molly's already been in the pond. Yeah.
Perfect.
My great-grandchildren were here yesterday, and the frogs are out, so we had a good time catching frogs. I like to catch and release the frogs. Can't catch the fish, you know, it's impossible.
Whoa, look at the Japanese forest grass.
Yeah, Japanese forest grass has done really well.
We gotta stop.
Yep.
Now the forget-me-nots, you said that was perennial?
Yeah, those are perennial.
I've got to get some of that
and
perennial
they have
stuff.
just bloomed.
They're
and
beautiful.
bloomed all spring. They're starting to fade out now, but they have been just blooming like crazy this year. Must have been just right for them. That's all I can think of.
Yeah.
And they've spread. They spread too, you know, quite. They just, little pieces of them come up.
Is it from seed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just spread on their own.
Because the annual ones or the biennial ones, they spread by seed.
Yeah.
But I can't seem to get them to start either in my garden. But I think maybe the perennial ones, when I get the weeds out, I think I'll get some of those.
Yeah, I think it would do really well. They seem to and they like by the water. They seem to really like by the water as well. So
Up on the top there is a Japanese maple.
That's a Japanese maple, that's right.
Yeah, and you got your...
I like that a lot. I keep it trimmed up at the bottom because of the water, so I try to trim that up. And it's really beautiful in the fall, and really beautiful in the winter, actually.
Now the grass that's along the fence over there, is that morning light?
That is morning light.
That is so pretty there.
Yep.
Just
trying to put that along there, and you know, it gets kind of big, so I need to keep some little walkway so we can get through here a little bit. There's just a little bit of everything, and a lot of times I don't even know what I'm planting, you know?
Yeah, it's just, and your Japanese forest grass, it's just...
I know.
It's just amazing.
And it loves, you know what, the animals love it in the wintertime. I don't cut that down until in the spring. I let it stay in the winter.
Yeah.
Because I get rabbits and chipmunks and all kinds of things that live in there in the winter. So, you know, not that we don't have enough chipmunks around, but you know, I'm an animal lover. But you know, I see little animals in it all the time, which is pretty
I
amazing.
don't cut my grass back until spring. In fact, I haven't cut mine back yet.
Yeah, I don't cut them, any of them back till spring. I leave them all winter. I think they're actually kind of pretty.
Oh yeah, it's winter interest in the garden as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
All those koi down here think that we're here to feed them.
Yep. And they've been trained. You can feed them by hand. My grandkids and great-grandkids have
You
got
mean
them.
reach right down there and
Yes,
they'll take it out of your hand?
Oh yeah, you can take the food right down and they'll come right up and take it out of your hand. I'm going to show you.
Yeah, demonstrate.
Okay, watch out, Molly. Let me show you. They're not the least bit afraid. Is that funny or what?
Molly wants to get right in there with you.
Oh yeah, Molly thinks everything's about Molly. So, close it.
Does Molly like their food?
She will eat it, yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's what she's looking
She's
for.
after the food, yeah.
Yeah.
They've done really well. You know, they made it all through the winter. I didn't have one fish I lost this winter, which is pretty amazing actually.
Well, yeah.
Because I usually lose 2 or 3.
And where is the deepest spot?
Over there, and you kind of see that shelf jutting out.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little more than 4 foot under that. And Chris even helped me with that little shelf because if you had cranes or anything come in, if they're smart, they can get under there and the cranes won't get them.
Right.
But they also go down there in the winter and they just freeze. I keep a little bubbler over here so the pond doesn't totally freeze up, but it'll freeze up except where that bubbler is and where the waterfalls are. The waterfall, so it keeps the water moving through there. Yeah.
Good. That's how they have to be a certain depth to do that.
Right. And
but then the bubbler, of course, that does a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
And it's better for them if you don't have to take them out. I find that they don't stress out so much. When you take those fish out, and put them back, they don't do as well. So
now your lilies here are they're in bloom.
Yes.
And I see there's more buds coming.
Yes, there's a lot coming. They've just started, and that thing will be covered with flowers. Yep.
Now what's the purple flower that's at Arrow?
I do not know. Somebody asked me that the other day, and I do not know for sure what that is. I tried to look that up, and I cannot remember for the life of me what that is.
I think I have a book that I can find it in.
Yeah, I looked through my book and I couldn't find it.
I think I have one that sits on pond plants. I don't know why I have it because I don't have a pond. I got to have one of everything.
Yeah, that's right. You got to have one of everything, don't you?
Oh, look at your...
Look how they did. That's going to be so beautiful this weekend. These are going to stay. They're starting to go a little bit, but the red hot poker are beautiful. There's some around the other side too.
I'm surprised that they're that much left.
Me too.
At some of the other gardens, they're gone. The very, very tip is all that's left, and this is right surrounded by something that makes it hot.
Right, I know.
That's beautiful.
They were a little late coming on, and I think they'll be okay. And it's the same way with the, what do you call it, the Astilbe?
Astilbe?
I always say that. Those are all blooming all the way around. Look at that. That's going to be beautiful, too.
Oh,
They're one of my favorite flowers, mainly because of the smell. I just love the way
I
they
didn't
smell.
realize they had an odor.
Oh, they're very...
I really want to get a lot of them, and I know that in my research, I've discovered that they bloom at different times. They don't all bloom at the same time.
That's
so
right.
I want to get a bunch of different kinds so that I can keep continuous.
Yeah, I love them. And I need to get some different kind too then, because I didn't realize that they would bloom at different times like that, because most of mine bloom all at the same time. I've even spread them up. See, across the fence I've even put some.
Oh, yeah.
And spread those out.
From here I thought that was goat's beard, but it's not. It's Astilbe.
It's this, it's just the white of this, yep. And I just keep, watch out, Molly, I just keep filling in. Far ahead of you. See? Oh my God, that smells so good. Bloom first,
So you already have some that bloom.
I did, yep. These
Look
are
at your
ready.
Japanese.
Aren't those beautiful?
Oh, Dave.
Yep. And interesting enough, when I started the pond, those were actually along the water, and I decided to transfer one out of the water and see how it did, and they just took off, Becky. Just took off.
Do you have acidic soil?
No?
because that's what they like.
Yeah, no, not really.
Mine they wouldn't bloom at my house after the first year because I don't have acidic soil, and it's such a trouble
Yeah.
to try to keep it that way when you got other plants among them.
The interesting thing about this soil is it holds water. It's almost, this is all swampy back in here. There's a pond, an old pond back in here. And I can dig, if I dig down about this far, I can hit water.
Really?
So you can, when I dig, everything, it can be dry everywhere, and I can get moist soil. I can almost pick it up and make a mud pie with it. Because someone asked me when they were here the other day about the watering must be awful for you, and I said, I don't water. I never water. The only thing I water is my garden stuff, my little garden box stuff. And I water that because, you've transferred it to soil this deep, But I water nothing else, ever. I mean, hopefully it'll never get that bad that I have to.
I see a sign here that says...
That's what it said it was. Is that correct or is that wrong? That's wrong? What is it? Not this. This is just mint. It's this.
No.
That's not what that is? Do you know what that is?
I don't think it is.
Well, pull that sign out of there.
Well, don't until I call you.
Okay.
No, it's not. I don't know what it is,
There's two different kinds in here. There's this and there's this. And I don't know what this is either.
Joe Pye.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is it
that's Joe Pye. That's right. I knew that. That's Joe Pye.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff will be invasive if you're not careful. Yeah. Yeah, it's trying to take over. In fact, I'll show you back here.
Oh, those are gorgeous.
Aren't they? Everyone, and those will be blooming, so I think those are coming. I transferred, this is a butterfly bush, and I transferred it and cut it last year, so I think it's going to do okay, but I'm a little worried. It doesn't look too healthy, but I think it'll be okay.
Well, you might want to give it a little water, even though you don't water.
I all the time am transferring things and seeing where they grow well, and
lots of times, the first time you plant something, that first year you got to water it. But
true.
then after it's established, you don't have to bother with it anymore.
Yeah. And then I do my little garden boxes, just because I'm a gardener, just because I like vegetables. I got to keep my hand in it. I usually crowd them up more than you should.
Well, yeah, but if you fertilize them and water them, it doesn't matter.
Might as well crowd them up. That's right.
They don't have to fight with anything because you give them enough.
And then see, I've even got Joe Pye's even. Look how it's doing back here.
And you've got the ornamental peach.
Yep. I love that tree. And it bloomed and got some peaches, but not as much as it normally does this year. It didn't do. Last year it was just loaded.
It must be 5 or 6 years old.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 5 or 6 years old. Yeah. So, lots more hostas.
Are there peaches on that?
There might be a couple still.
You mean that they've already...
They've already done it. They dropped early.
Oh, okay.
There's a couple
up
there.
I see.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
They are still there. Yep. Not near as many as it did last year.
But now those aren't edible.
No. They smell and look just like a peach, but they're not edible. No.
It's a beautiful foliage plant, though.
Yes, it is. Yep.
And Dave, take a shot through here when you get over here. All the different colors of foliage, and it's just it's a gorgeous view.
Yeah, that's a nice spot. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that really is gorgeous.
And I just keep filling in. That my goal at one point is that there would be virtually hardly any grass left here at all. I may move those garden boxes at some point and just fill it all in back here and let it go, and then only have this part to mow and the side part to mow back
Fill
here.
it in with plants. You mean flowers?
Yeah, flowers. Just keep coming. Because see, this used to be years ago. This was all vegetable garden, the whole thing. And then when I started getting into the flowers, less than vegetables and more flowers. So I could easily fill in. Grapevine's doing great this year. Look at all, you can see all the grapes on it.
Yeah, I have to go look at mine. I hope mine's like that.
But there won't be a one of them. I won't get a one of them.
The
birds will get them all.
Yeah.
And I even tried netting it one year, but they are smarter than the net. It didn't do it. It just aggravated me trying to keep the net on there. They just got them anyway.
Yeah, I didn't take any off of mine last year, but there were some raisins out there in the spring.
Yeah.
I found raisins.
And I kind of got into the bird houses a little bit a couple years ago. Little bits and pieces. Like
Do you leave them out year round, or?
I do leave them out year round. I do. I
Yeah.
clean them out. You know, I clean them out real good so they'll use them again.
Well, I've got
I
some
just
I've
leave 'em.
discovered that they were using, and the bottom's fallen out, so they
Yeah.
can't nest in them anymore.
Yeah.
But they're not ones. They're not designed so that I can easily clean them out. They
Right.
weren't. They were decorative ones.
Yeah, see, that one's really getting old, but I have a pair of wrens that use that every year, so I don't want to take it down until
Yeah.
they don't want to use it, you know, until it really falls apart. But it's starting to deteriorate.
Well,
as
maybe get one similar to it, and when they have it to put right back up,
Right, right.
they won't maybe know
I
the
get a
difference.
lot of them. I look at craft stores, garage sales, that kind of thing, you know. Sometimes they're
I used to buy them when we went on our bus trips to different garden places, and it's heartbreaking when
Yeah.
they fall apart.
I know, I know.
because
I
they
know.
cost more when you get them there.
Yeah, a friend of mine, he's passed away now. That's actually a bluebird house, and I've never. Of course, this is not the area for bluebirds. You know, they want field.
And they want that. What's those worms they eat?
Oh yeah.
I can't remember. You can
neither.
buy them
Yeah,
at the
But he put those up for me.
where they
so-
sell bait and stuff.
Yeah.
They sell them to feed to various
Yes.
pets.
What are those? I can't. Yes, I can't think what that is.
I can't either.
No.
And I keep thinking, what?
Mealworms. Mealworms.
Mealworms.
Mealworm. That's it.
Boy,
And then-
that rose is beautiful down there
yeah,
too.
the roses are beautiful, and my Cynthias are just starting. See how they're just starting to bloom? The 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are just starting to bloom. That's what?
What?
These.
Oh, hydrangeas.
Yeah,
Hydrangea.
hydrangeas. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But that's another one actually there that's coming up. It's always late in the year. It'll get huge. It'll get really huge, and it has dinner plate blossoms on it. And they only last about 4 or 5 days, but they're so beautiful. And so
It's a shame that they can't just last the whole time, isn't
yeah,
it?
I know.
Oh, this is so beautiful out here.
So then I was going to show you that then I started, it's because it's kind of what I did the last couple. So I'm like, I just have so many hostas, so then I started here a couple years ago,
you know,
filling in all the way around
I
here.
think you told me that you were going to do that.
Yeah, I
And
did.
see, you did what you
It's
said.
pretty successful. I just, grass that needed to be
Huge plants.
pulled up and transferred. You know, they were too big, and so some of it's grass and some of it's different hostas, and I'm really pleased how well they've done along here. Really well.
Yeah.
And yeah, they grew really fast. Well, you know, the hostas are so big, even when I transplant them, you could probably get 10 or 12 hostas out of it. And because I have so many, I maybe make 4 out of it, and they're so big I can hardly carry them.
And
So
they're still big.
yeah, so when I put them back, they just take they're just almost like a whole plant again when they take off.
I
So-
found that true with the daylilies, that Stella
Yeah.
d'Ora. We just dig one up, split it in half,
Yep.
and then dig another one up and put the halves in and take
Yep.
the whole one.
Yep.
And we
Yep.
could get like 20 or 30 plants out of
Right.
one of them.
Right, exactly.
And I imagine that's the same way with your hostas.
It is. It is the same
And they
way.
like it here.
Yeah, they
because
do. They
the-
like the shade.
You have moisture though.
And it's 10 degrees cooler, you know, when you
20.
when you with the trees right here. This is a nice spot.
Oh,
and-
this is wonderful
yeah,
here.
Yeah, it's a nice spot. So it was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Well, thank you again for letting us come and for all of the area people to come and see this, and I know they're just going to love it.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think if you put a for sale sign on it, you could get rid of it immediately.
Well, one of these days, you never know. You never know when that's going to happen. I say they're going to take me out of here feet first, and you'll either have someone that will love the garden, or you'll have someone that'll go, oh, I don't want to take care of all that, but it ought to help itself. They can do whatever they want with it. Well, thank you.
If you would like to become a Master Gardener, call 969-0270, extension 116. If you have questions or suggestions about this show, call 963-1448.
AccessVision. Your voice, your community.